number 3 of redoing this every day. So we're on a hell of a streak, 3 days in a row. All right. So today we're going to talk about compassion, the camera, the heart, and the human connection. What do you think about all of that? Comes together. So, one of the most powerful things about talking to the camera is remembering that the other side of the lens, that's you, I'm talking to you, is a human being, a person. Not a number, not a logarithm, not some follower account. You're a real human. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You might be struggling, celebrating, or just need to be felt and seen. The key, however, is to not screw up your teleprompter. That's fun. How did I do that? Let's see, how does that work? Ooh, I can do that. Oh, I like that. Okay, we'll get back to this and well, it's live, and you know what? When things are live is when things go wrong. And so we just adapt and we overcome and we move forward a little bit at a time. So you are not a number, you're not the logarithm, you're a person. And I imagine that you're curious about what I'm talking about, but probably not because I don't know why anybody would be on this channel. So the key is I want to connect. I want to connect with you, and not by performing, but because connection is compassion. It's getting to know one another. It's using compassion and presence to deepen that connection. Do not do that. That's interesting. Okay, well, normally I would stop the recording and start over again, but not this time because that's not that way we roll. So the camera becomes less of a lens and more of eyeballs. Like I am talking to you because I want to make a difference. I want to connect with you as a person. Okay. Now I want to talk about the virtue of compassion. My friend Art Nicholas wrote this book in his little book of virtues that he published during COVID, and it really hit home. Like all virtues, compassion consists of both contemplation and action. We become fully aware of the distress of another, then we feel the desire to take some action and relieve that distress. Compassion isn't pity, it's empathy in motion. It's heart translated into hands. Albert Schweitzer said, compassion is the purpose of human life. Real compassion means real action. Feet on the ground, life interrupted, schedules broken open because love is something more important. That's the kind of compassion I want to live by. It's the kind of compassion that shows up when we talk to camera. It's the kind of compassion that shows up when we talk to camera. So let me tell you a quick story. Back when I was in the Navy, we were on deployment over in Japan, working long hours, flying a lot of hours. We're on standby. We were on the ready alert, so we had to be ready to go on a moment's notice. And one of the guys on the crew had gotten some bad news from home, and his mom was really ill and in the hospital, and he couldn't get home. You could really see the change in him. He was really down, really depressed. He wasn't sleeping. He was making little mistakes. And when you're flying in an airplane, you can't have people making mistakes can be a really bad thing. So we all had our jobs to do. One night, Chief Johnson took him aside, and I don't think he didn't really say much. He just sat with him, handed him a cup of coffee, and said, "Hey, you're not alone here. Okay? We're here for you." He pulled it together and he finished strong. Later, he told me that simple act of compassion, of someone seeing him, was the difference between giving up and holding on for another day. That's compassion in action. Not fancy, not loud, but very, very powerful. When I talk to camera now, I try to channel some of that quiet strength. I imagine one person out there who needs to hear, "You're not alone here." Here's a little poem by Miller Williams that captures this perfectly. I'm so grateful for ChatGPT for finding these perfect poems that fit. Compassion. Have compassion for everyone you meet, even if they don't want it. What appears bad manners and ill tempered or cynicism is always a sign of things no ears have heard, no eyes have seen. You don't know what's going on down there where the spirit meets the bone. Every person watching your video is fighting a war you can't see. So when you speak, let your words carry mercy. Let your tone carry grace. That's how compassion comes through a camera. Just right. Pause for 4 seconds. So take a second to think about this. Have you ever experienced someone showing compassion to you at a time of need? What did that feel like? And maybe the harder question, have you ever been in a place where you really needed compassion but found it lacking? How did that feel? Those two experiences, being seen and being ignored, they shape us, they soften us, they make us better communicators. But every time we speak on camera or in life, we are putting the microphone in the right place. We are building a bridge of compassion or letting distance grow. We get to choose which bridge we build. Here, try this. Let's do something together. If you're watching this or creating content yourself, picture someone who could use a little encouragement right now. Maybe a friend, maybe a client, maybe a family member, or even possibly you. Now imagine that you're talking to them through the lens, not to a crowd, not to an algorithm, just that one person. How does your voice change? How does your body feel? How does your message shift? That is compassion in communication. It's the same energy we bring when we show up for a neighbor, when we truly listen to someone who's hurting. If you bring that energy into your videos, You build an audience that isn't just there to watch you, they're there to trust you, because compassion is magnetic. Here's another favorite one of mine. Naomi Shihab Nye's Kindness. Let's see if I nail this one. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. Then it's only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for." Kindness is compassion dressed for work. It's love on its feet. And the more we practice it, the more natural it becomes. Our conversations, our content, and our communities. So here's my challenge for you today. Find someone who needs compassion and be the person who reaches out. It could be a client who is anxious, a volunteer who is burned out, a neighbor you've been meaning to call. Take 5 minutes, send the text, make that visit, and say the words, "I see you." Interrupt your life for compassion, and it will change someone else's. If you're recording videos this week, create with compassion. Speak like you're sitting across from a friend who just needs a little bit of hope. So as you go through your week, remember this. Talking to the camera isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about being present. When you show compassion through your tone, your pauses, and your willingness to be vulnerable, that's when people lean in. That's when you move from talking at someone to speaking with them. And that's where the real influence lies. So go out there today. Speak with compassion. Act with compassion. Let it interrupt your day. And maybe, just maybe, it'll change the world. This is Reed reminding you that compassion is love on its feet. See you on the next video.